Men, let's talk about the silent killer in many long-term marriages, the withholding of intimacy. Maybe you felt it. The conversations about sex have stopped, the bed is cold, and the gap between you and your wife feels like a canyon. You are a good man, you provide, you're faithful, you try to be supportive, and yet the one thing you need most to feel respected and connected is gone. And then comes the shocker, the thing that simply doesn't compute in a good man's mind. You hear stories, perhaps even experience it yourself, where intimacy is cut off, only for a partner to seek connection elsewhere, sometimes with a man who offers none of the commitment or respect you do. Your honest question is, if sex, for a woman, is supposed to be about trust, connection, and respect, how can that trust and connection be brutally cut off from the man she vowed to love, only to be offered freely to someone who has no history or commitment? It's a painful, confusing paradox that can shatter a man's dignity. But I want you to know, your confusion is valid, but the story you're being told about why this happens is often incomplete and misleading. I've spent the last 5 years watching good men struggle with this exact scenario. We're going to dive deep into the real reasons this dynamic emerges and, more importantly, how you reclaim your power and self-respect. Not by fixing her, but by fiercely focusing on your own health and dignity. This is a tough topic, so if you're ready to face this truth and find a path forward, hit that like button now. Let me know in the comments, what does respect mean to you in your marriage? And please subscribe and ring the bell to support men's emotional and physical health on this platform. The myth we are often sold, and the story many wives tell themselves, is that intimacy is withheld purely because the man has failed to provide emotional connection, respect, or trust. While those factors are always important, the deeper, more painful truth is that for some, sex stops because it has become a tool of control, a form of punishment, or a symptom of deep, unmet personal needs in the wife that have nothing to do with the husband. Here's the truth a good man struggles to grasp: the male wiring. A good man makes a vow, a commitment, and he means it. For him, withholding sex from his wife as a punishment is almost unthinkable. It feels cruel and fundamentally violates the commitment he made. The female mechanism in this context: when a partner is unhappy for internal reasons, often related to their own life choices, unrealistic expectations, or lack of personal fulfillment, it's far easier to externalize the blame onto the closest source, the husband. Biologically, when a woman feels deeply entitled, unhappy, or unfulfilled, her stress hormones, cortisol, are high. The nervous system focuses on fight or flight, making the oxytocin-driven connection of intimacy nearly impossible. She may feel miserable, and in her emotional delusion, she cuts off the source of potential comfort, the husband, as a way to punish the perceived source of her unhappiness. Emotionally, this often stems from a self-centric perspective, where the partner married with the expectation that the husband was responsible for her happiness. When he inevitably fails to live up to this moving goalpost, sex is cut off, not as a reflection of lack of respect for him, but as an expression of her own internal hurt and victimhood. It is incredibly selfish, but it happens. Practically, this turns sex from an act of loving connection into a power currency. It becomes something she can use to control the emotional climate of the marriage, a way to signal dissatisfaction without actually taking responsibility for her own happiness. The trust, connection, and respect have been killed, not by the husband's inadequacy, but by the partner's internal inability to own her feelings and choices. A good man must understand this. The withdrawal of intimacy is often not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of your partner's internal disarray and lack of self-ownership. In my 5 years of practice focusing on men's health, I've seen the devastating impact of this dynamic. The man is left emasculated, confused, and profoundly disrespected. The core issue here is the erosion of the man's dignity. When you are treated cruelly, when intimacy is used to manipulate, when your partner fails to see the impact of her choices on the family, your confidence, your resilience, and even your physical health suffer. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to stay in that place of confusion and victimhood. The solution is not to try harder to fix her, but to reclaim your power, your self-respect, and your vitality by focusing intensely on the man in the mirror. This isn't about saving the marriage right now. This is about saving you. Now let's identify the self-sabotaging mistakes good men make when they try to navigate this cruel behavior. When a good man is hit with this level of apparent cruelty and selfishness, he reacts in ways that, while natural, actually give away more of his power. Here are the top 5 dignity-eroding mistakes I see. 5. Falling for the "it's all your fault" gaslight. The mistake: you internalize the blame. You believe her narrative that your failure to communicate, your inability to make her happy, or your emotional shortcomings are the sole reasons for the withholding. Biologically, accepting the blame floods your system with cortisol. This chronic stress hormone tanks your testosterone, weakens your immune system, and contributes to weight gain and anxiety. Your body is mirroring your crushed emotional state. Emotionally, this kills your self-trust. You enter a spiral of anxiety, desperately trying to change yourself to meet her impossible standards, becoming a shadow of the strong man she married. Practically, by accepting full blame, you give away 100% of your power. You put yourself in a one-down position where you are forever begging for validation that will never come because the problem isn't truly about you. The next mistake completely undermines your reputation with your children and friends. It's about how you seek comfort. 4th, winging it in the marriage without a personal operating system. The mistake: you continue to show up in the marriage as a husband who acts like a nice guy, believing that if you are just kind, giving, and helpful, the intimacy will return. You have no boundary, no plan, and no strength. Biologically, the lack of boundaries is exhausting. You are constantly anticipating her needs, which keeps you in a hyper-vigilant state, draining your energy reserves and preventing the deep, restorative sleep necessary for true physical and mental health. Emotionally, your constant niceness without self-respect turns into martyrdom. You start to resent her, and more importantly, you start to resent yourself for allowing yourself to be treated this way. The feeling is not love, but obligation and powerlessness. Practically, she sees your kindness as weakness, a transactional attempt to get sex. It fails to earn her respect, and without respect, attraction cannot exist. This 3rd mistake is the ultimate self-deception that keeps you trapped in fantasy. 3. Believing in the fantasy other man narrative. The mistake: you buy into the idea that if she has an affair, the other man must be somehow better, more exciting, more understanding, or more fulfilling. You think the grass is actually greener. Biologically, your nervous system is hardwired to seek status. If you believe another man is providing the connection you can't, it triggers deep feelings of inadequacy and low self-worth, further crushing your hormonal balance. Emotionally, this allows the partner to use the "I deserve happiness" fantasy as an excuse for cruelty. The reality that the affair is often based on 2 broken people commiserating over their own unresolved issues is missed entirely. Practically, you waste energy trying to compete with a fantasy instead of focusing on the reality of your own high-value, commitment-based character. You need to realize that these fantasy connections are emotionally fragile and have no strong foundation. The 2nd mistake is one of the toughest to stop because it's tied to hope. 2. Neglecting your vows to yourself. The mistake: you made vows to her, but you haven't made vows to yourself. I will protect my emotional health. I will not tolerate disrespect. I will maintain my physical vitality. Because you're focused solely on fixing the marriage, your personal health has become collateral damage. Biologically, you stop working out. You start eating poorly. You rely on alcohol or comfort food to cope with the pain. This physical neglect accelerates aging, promotes systemic inflammation, and guarantees low energy and low mood. Emotionally, by neglecting your self-care, you signal to yourself that your needs and your body are disposable. This self-abandonment makes you feel even less deserving of respect, making you an easier target for manipulation. Practically, you lose the one thing you can completely control: your own physical and mental edge. You cannot lead your life or your family from a place of physical and emotional exhaustion. The number one mistake is what I call the ultimate surrender of a good man's power. 1. The ultimate surrender, staying silent and withdrawing into the man cave. The mistake: you stop initiating sex, and crucially, you stop initiating clear, assertive communication about the state of the marriage. You accept the silence as the new normal, retreating into hobbies, work, or isolation. Biologically, your body accepts the lack of intimacy. Your drive diminishes through disuse. Your mind, seeking safety, stops fighting for connection. This leads to profound loneliness, which is biologically toxic, increasing the risk of heart disease and cognitive decline. Emotionally, this is the self-imposed death of hope. You resign your role as an active partner and become a passive housemate. You trade your dignity for a strained peace. Practically, when you surrender your voice, you allow the negative dynamic to become permanent. You teach your partner that her unacceptable behavior has no consequence, which reinforces her power and confirms your fear that you are, in fact, disposable. A man of integrity must speak the truth, even if it is uncomfortable. The path forward is not about winning a fight. It's about establishing a framework of self-respect. Here are 3 steps to get you back on track to be the strong, confident man you are. 1. The dignity check. Redefine your boundaries. The plan: define the line for yourself. You must decide what behavior you will and will not accept in your marriage, regardless of the outcome. The commitment: sit down, alone, and write down a list of non-negotiable self-respect boundaries, e.g., I will not be manipulated, I will not tolerate cruel language, I will speak my truth with integrity. The goal: the boundary is for you, it's about how you react, not how she acts. This creates a solid, unmoving foundation of self-worth that no external force can shake. This inner strength is the most attractive and respectful thing you can cultivate. 2. The testosterone turnaround: health as a weapon. The plan: aggressively pursue your physical health, not to attract her, but to empower yourself. What to do? Get your testosterone and general metabolic panel checked. Commit to intense resistance training, lifting weights 4 times a week. Focus on lean protein and cut out processed sugars. The biological impact: this is a direct investment in your mood, energy, muscle mass, and mental clarity. High vitality is intrinsically linked to confidence. As you reclaim your health, you physically and mentally become less susceptible to emotional manipulation. 3. The communication of strength: use I statements for clarity. The plan: communicate your reality to your partner, not to complain, but to clarify the state of the relationship without blame. What to say, assertively: I am no longer comfortable with the level of emotional distance and lack of intimacy in this relationship. I feel disconnected, and I believe we need a path forward to health, or we need to look at what's next. I am committed to being a healthy man, and I need a marriage that supports that. The goal: you are stating your perspective, your truth, without attacking her. You are forcing the relationship out of the silent surrender and onto a path of clear resolution, which is the definition of leadership. Men, your inherent worth is not determined by your wife's level of desire, nor is it based on her ability to appreciate you. Your dignity rests on your character, your commitment, and your self-respect. The most important relationship you have right now is with yourself. Focus on becoming the man who deserves respect, who demands respect, and who lives with respect. And you will find comfort, freedom, and an undeniable confidence that changes the atmosphere around you. Do not let the cruelty of unmet expectations define your future. Good men are the backbone of society, and you deserve a life filled with vitality and true connection. Your age is not a time for surrender, but for fierce reclamation of the best version of yourself. Your power is not in controlling others. It is in controlling yourself and your response. I want to see your commitment. In the comments, tell me one thing you are going to do this week to invest in your physical health or emotional dignity. If this video gave you clarity and strength, please like, share it with another man who needs to hear this, and subscribe to our channel. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, and I look forward to supporting your journey to a life of unshakable health and dignity.